Hello, and welcome. My name is Courtney Kafka. I'm a beauty guide with LimeLife by Alcone, and this is my first ever YouTube video. I'm really excited to be doing this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time now, to just give you some quick tips and tutorials on some of my favorite LimeLife products. So today I'm going to be doing concealer and foundation to show you how to get a beautiful, flawless complexion with LimeLife. So let me scooch up a little closer to the camera so you can really see my face. I have a mirror down below me, so if you see me peeking down, that's what I'm looking at. And I'm just going to talk to you about how we come to our makeup station kind of prepped to do makeup. You want to have a clean face and you want to be moisturized. So if you washed your face earlier in the day and you're doing your makeup later on in the day, it's probably helpful to add a little something to your skin, your moisturizer. I just put on LimeLife's Due Date Facial Oil, which is a really nice start for concealer and foundation because I won't have any dryness and I'll get a really dewy, beautiful glow. The next thing I do is grab my First Base makeup primer. This is a spray primer. It's oil-free, it's silicone-free, it's also free of parabens and SLS. So you know that it's going to be good for your skin. It's also really refreshing and wonderful feeling on your face. The reason that we put on a primer before we do our makeup is because primer is going to conceal the appearance of redness, fine lines and wrinkles, and pores. That's what we all need, right? It's also going to give your makeup something to adhere to so that your makeup stays beautiful all day long. So I'm going to be doing just a half face because I always feel like that's a little quicker and then you can actually really see the difference. So I'm going to spray half of my face with the priming spray. I love the way it feels. It's a really fine mist. You don't get a, shoot of a whole lot of product on your face. It feels wonderful. The first thing I do when I do my makeup is concentrate on my under eye area. When you're trying to conceal dark circles under your eyes, the dark circles are generally going to be purple or blue in hue. So we want to conceal them with something on the opposite spectrum of the color wheel, which is going to be kind of an orangey pink color. So I'm going to go into my LimeLife concealer number 3, which is a really great concealer color corrector for someone with many skin tones, light to medium and even a little bit deeper than my skin tone. We have 7 different concealers, so if this one isn't right for you, I'm able to help you pick exactly the right one for your under eye area. I like to use, this is actually a newfound love of mine. This is our brush number 8. This is called our Dome Blender brush. It's an eyeshadow brush. It is amazing for concealer. It applies, it's nice and dense, but it applies your concealer kind of in a really nice fashion. It it's never too much. It blends really beautifully. I just love this brush for concealer. So if you watch, I'm just gonna gently tap in. Our concealers and foundation are very highly pigmented. Most concealers and foundations that you find out on the market, whether they're drugstore or a high-end brand, are going to be about 20 to 22% pigment. What that means is the rest of that product is filler of some kind. It's going to be an oil or water base. It's going to have, some ingredients that you might not love. It might also have things that you do like. You might want an SPF or a moisturizer, and you think, oh, it's so great to have that with my foundation. Well, the way that generally works is that we're going to be compromising one thing or another. Foundation is not meant to be also sunscreen. So when we add a sunscreen into our foundation, we're going to be compromising the quality of that foundation and or the sunscreen as well. So what I always recommend is starting with if you're going to be outside during the day, starting with a primer that is also a sunscreen like the one that we carry with LimeLife, and then and not the priming spray that I just used. We have a sunscreen also that is a primer, and then going into your makeup. So these products are going to be more pigmented than probably anything you've ever tried. And what that means for you as the consumer is it's just more bang for your buck. It's going to last for a really long time. My concealers, I can't even tell you when the last time was I had to refresh a concealer, and I use these every time I do my makeup. So I'm just going to go in to the inner corner under my eye. And if you notice, I really concentrate most of the color in this inner corner rather than creating like a half moon of concealer under my eye. The reason for that is because if we do a half moon that's lighter than what was there originally, instead of correcting the color, we're really gonna just kind of highlight the fact that we have dark circles. And if you look at yourself, you're probably like me, where your darkness is really concentrated in that inner corner. And then if you want to put a little bit on that outside area, that's fine too. I always like to use my finger to tap in the product. This is a wax-based product. Our concealer and our foundation are both wax-based, which means they sit really beautifully on the skin. They are non-comedogenic. They do not clog pores, is what that means. And they also just kind of give the appearance of skin. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look too built up. And you can also have different kinds of coverage. If you like sheer coverage, there are ways that you can apply your foundation to be really nice and sheer. If you like fuller coverage, you can do more than one layer of foundation. It's not going to break up. And the wax is really the reason for that. Okay, so I've corrected under my eye. You can see the difference there. You notice that my concealer does not match my skin tone. That's foundation's job. Concealer is meant to color correct. So that's why we have our Perfect Complexion palettes, and there are 2 concealers, neither of which match my skin tone, and 1 foundation, which does match my skin tone. So the next concealer I'm gonna use is our concealer number 1. This is to correct redness. I get a lot of redness in my cheeks. I do not have red undertones to my skin. I really have golden undertones, but I just tend towards having redness in my cheeks, also sometimes on my nose and on my chin, like a lot of people do. So to correct that, I just use this green tinted concealer number 1. I'm gonna correct that on my chin as well. See, that one little tap of product really was enough to cover all of those areas. And the redness is gone. So concealer number 1 is really great for redness because, like I said, opposite sides of the color wheel, this is a green hue, so it's going to cancel out redness. So next I'm just gonna go into my foundation. I have my Blenderful sponge. You'll notice that it is pretty clean. It has been used. So if you don't wash your sponge or your brush or your brushes often, I would encourage you to do so. Having clean tools is a big deal. Your makeup will apply better, your skin will be healthier, you will be a happier you if you wash your brushes every once in a while. So I just cleaned my sponge with our brush and sponge cleaner, and I like to use the flat end of the sponge to put my foundation on. I just put it into the container and kind of give a little quick twist. And then I really just stipple it all over my face. I have to peek down into my mirror. I love applying with the Blenderful because, for 2 reasons. One is that it, because it has pores, the sponge has pores, it kind of mimics the pores of the skin. So you get a really natural look, which is usually what I'm going for. I'm a mom. I'm not usually going anywhere super glamorous, although sometimes I am. But I think I have nice skin because I use my LimeLife skincare. So I just want to show that off and just have kind of a perfected version of myself rather than a full, cakey face of makeup. So I love the sponge for that because I think that it makes my foundation look like my skin. The other reason I love it is because quick and easy. Again, I said I'm a mom. I have 8 children. I homeschool them. We are busy people. I need my Blenderful sponge to make my makeup application really simple. So the next thing that I'm gonna do, little trick I'll teach you. You can see, even on me, there's a little, even though my foundation is really well matched, and generally we're gonna match to the chest area with our foundation. Your neck is gonna be a little lighter than your face. Your face may have some discoloration, such as mine had redness. Sometimes we have hyperpigmentation, melasma, that kind of thing in our face. So our chest is kind of the truest test of the color that we want, as long as our chest doesn't also have any kind of damage to the skin. So if you need to be matched for foundation, I'm happy to do that for you virtually. It's easy enough. I will give you instructions. Just hop in my Facebook inbox or I guess in the comments on YouTube. I don't know. But you can see that there is a little bit of a line of demarcation between my jawline and my neck. So all I have to do for that, I don't even really need to apply more product, is just take my sponge and pull down. You can even go out to your ear as well. And just make sure that you've made a really gradual change between your face and your neck. You don't want, a lot of times our neck is a lot lighter than our face. So you don't want to have a harsh difference. So if you just kind of gently blend that out, it works perfectly. You don't need to apply a whole bunch of product on your neck. And another thing that you'll notice that is different about LimeLife's foundation that is not true of other foundations is that it does not oxidize. Let me tell you a little bit about oxidation. Oxidation is when you go to the store, you get matched for foundation by somebody who really knows what they're talking about. They get you the perfect color. You go home, you put it on, you look so fabulous. 2 hours later, you catch yourself like this in the mirror and you notice there's like a pink line here between your face and your neck, and it wasn't like that when you put your makeup on. That is because your foundation color has oxidized. As the oxygen hits the color, something in there, the oil, the water, one of those fillers that we talked about, causes the foundation color to change. So it's really hard to get your perfect foundation color when it's going to change over time, right? Because LimeLife is wax-based foundation, it's not going to oxidize. It stays the same. It, stays your perfect match all day, no matter what. So I really love that about LimeLife's foundation. All right, now I just like to take the corner of my Blenderful sponge and just look really carefully at my concealer under my eye to make sure that looks really flawless. Sometimes I use my finger as well. And just make sure that, I've got my foundation around my nose. You can use that point, especially we tend to have a little bit more pores showing around our nose. So really getting it in that area is important. And then in any areas where you feel like you need a little more coverage, you can just get a little more foundation on your sponge and build up in just that area. You don't have to put it all over your face a second time to get more coverage in just 1 or 2 spots. So that's that. See the difference? It's subtle because it gives that like skin appearance and glow. Okay, and the last thing that I'm gonna do for my perfect complexion, I could use a powder. We have HD color powders that I absolutely love. We have a translucent powder that if you deal with shine, oily skin, that's really helpful as well. But for me, I'm just gonna use my Time Setter setting spray. It comes in a collection with the priming spray, saves $10, which hello, I love it. The Time Setter is going to set your makeup for all day. It's going to give you a beautiful glow. I absolutely love it. I do use it once after my foundation, and then I use it again at the end of my entire makeup routine. So that's that. Now I'm set. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.